So how have we done it? Well, we just sat down and we took every single facet of the in-country experience. Every single thing. We broke it down into every single thing that we did, every single learning experience that we tried to provide, and we just mirrored it. And, of course, students are not going to get a full-on, cultural immersion. But what we're trying to provide is opportunities for them to engage on an intercultural level with communication and, understanding a little bit about the industry they want to get into. All those things we can still provide.
When Mark and I decided to pivot our program to a virtual one, this was one that we were quite skeptical about, on how students would be able to get a similar cultural experience than that they would have in country. Surely enough, they don't meet the locals face to face. However, the fact that they were able to engage in the language lessons and the food and knowing a little bit more about Malaysia was quite impressive and very well appreciated by the students and ourselves.
When students do orientation in country, they do something called Race Around Kuala Lumpur, Race Around Bangkok, whichever city they're in, which is about familiarising them not only with the culture, but with us, each other, the transport system, food, things like that. So in the absence of that, we're a bit stumped. We couldn't work out how we would do that. But then we came up with the idea of providing something called Kenali Malaysia. It means to know and understand Malaysia. And how we've done that is that we've got the students to do activities at home, maybe going to, say, a Malaysian restaurant and having a meal, or cooking something together, or having a takeout meal together, perhaps interviewing a Malaysian student. And then there was a couple of sections that provided them with quizzes where they needed to actually do a little bit of research that helped them understand the Malaysia-Australia relationship, and also something that was a bit more fun, like photos and things like that, which required them to go and find out what these places are that they might normally visit when they're here, and tell us a little bit about them.
With the Kenali challenge, I did get a good taste of Malaysia. It kind of made me more aware about Malaysia. Before I had no idea about the geography, I had no idea about different things about the culture and other things like the local foods. I mean, I knew about, I'd say, Pratheṣ. We've been to Mamaku, we have in Sydney here, and I have a few friends who are Malay, so I was like, I definitely know this one. But there are so many other things about the culture that I had no idea about before, and then once I had a bit of an orientation with Natasha and then a bit of an explore with Marlon, it was definitely easier to kind of get a grasp on, who are the Malaysian people and how do they perceive things and how do they interact in their cultural society. And that kind of made it easier for me to go into the internship and have not a bit of I wasn't forewarned per se, but I was more aware about different things and how I should approach things, and just having a bit more of a bigger worldview on what it would be like. So I think it was a really good taste. Obviously, just given the situation of COVID-19, I'm not fully immersed in it, but that's a given. And so I'm hoping now that if the borders open and the world improves, I can stop over in Malaysia and visit KL and the team at TGS and